Hi guys, it's me. Happy Monday. So what I'm gonna do every Monday, the packets are out right now on the front door. So what I'm gonna start doing is basically try to get this done um, every um, every Monday. So I'll have the book read and we'll go through the packet. This packet's a little bit smaller than the last week's just because we had that extra packet from the parrot over in Rainbow. So I will just get right into it, and then I will do another live video here after this, reading the book of the week. Um, but yeah, hopefully everyone's doing good. Hopefully that packet kept them busy. This one's got a couple more things in it. Um, and then next week, if I get it approved, we're gonna have a lot of the parent-child interaction. I mean, to the point where you're gonna have to sit there and work with them. I don't know if any of you guys seen it. It's that COVID-19 work packet. I was looking into it. It looks super cool. A lot of schools are actually using it right now, especially for the children that have speech issues or who are experiencing a lot of anxiety or depression from being cooped up, not going to school, or any of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a good thing for the parents and the child to do. There's also a parent one that I think I might print out too for you guys. Um, just just for fun, if you guys, well, you guys have time right now. Um, so the first page in our packet, this one right here, it's kind of hard. There we go. What other letters are in your first name? So basically they're going to write the first letter of their name on the front, and then they're going to go through the whole alphabet and circle what letters are also in their name. This helps with the identifying the lowercase letters for the rest of their name instead of just the uppercase letter of the beginning letter. This will also help, and after you do this part, have your child sit down and write their name, working with these letters. They can trace these letters, do however they want, and then try to have them write it on freehand on another piece of paper. That way they're kind of noticing that the only uppercase letter in their name is the first. Um, that way there's not that issue as they go on of all the letters being uppercase or anything like that. And it's kind of a really hard habit to break after it's happened. So we can just keep that going. And then the letter of the week we are using is Q. So there's little quail, there's Q's, and there's uppercase and lowercase Q's. All they have to do, it's kind of dark, sorry, is trace the Q's. And what we do here at the school is also, after they're done tracing, try to have them write it freehand on a piece of paper. If you guys have whiteboards, chalk, go outside and have them write on the street, or if you have a sidewalk, or anything, basically. So just keep that in mind. Whatever's on this worksheet, try to bring it up a little bit more to for them to use their freehand instead of having to trace it all the time. The other one we have here is tracing lines, like right here. It's basically the shadows, and they're matching the shadows. This one's a little bit easier. I have a couple more that we're going to do in the next couple weeks where there aren't any lines. So basically, we're going to have to match shadow by shadow. This helps with their classification. Also, it helps with their fine motor skills of following the dotted line, and also their instruction, following the instructions. Now this is another shadow one, and this is whose shadow. You guys can see that. And they're going to just draw lines, like I said, to who shadows whose. And with these, you can actually start a journal entry with that of which animal's their favorite, and they can make a whole story. A lot of our kids are a lot of good storytellers, and they can take one thing and go crazy with it. So just think of that when you're doing these, is how I can ask them more questions, how I can keep this paper going. Even take them outside, have them trace their own shadow. Do anything like that, just kind of get them a little bit more oomph instead of just writing on the worksheets. And then we're also working on the diamond this month. So here's a diamond, which is, a couple of different ones. This is also goes with the the dotted lines following, they can follow the lines, and then they can cut these out. This will actually help with their fine motor skills as well with their scissors, which we usually work on here. So it'll just be another little thing. And then we also have another color shapes. We have one, this one has hearts and arrows and stars and flowers and leaves and a bell. This way they're still working on their colors and they're all different shapes that they might see in their environments. The book this week is Guess How Much I Love You, right here. So there's the other coloring sheet in there. This is just, fun-filled, no stress thing. For our health, since we're not able to talk to them during breakfast and lunch now, I'm going to try to make some kind of health sheet in here. It's probably going to be a lot more recipes. So this one is actually a fruit salad. And you guys have a little recipe right here. And I mean, it'd be awesome to see what else you guys can come up with what to put else to put in the fruit salad. I would love to hear you guys maybe share them on the Facebook page of what you guys come up with. If you guys don't have Facebook, since this is posted on the YouTube channel as well, you can write it in the comments, or you can text me and I'll share it with everybody else. Now, this month is actually Child Abuse Prevention Month, if you guys haven't seen it on Facebook from the elementary school or not. So here is the color page. Basically, they'd like you to your child to color this and then post it in your window. Just kind of noticing, just have the awareness out. It's a pretty cool little windmill. And then we also have another project that came with that as making your own pinwheel right here. So now with this one, here's the instructions, and I printed out one design of a pinwheel for you guys. So all you have to do is cut this out and follow the lines, which I have two here that I thought I made a couple at home. And this will be a fun little easy project with the kids. So I wanted to make sure it worked before I threw it in there, but it works, and I will show you guys two of the pinwheels that I've put in there. So all you're going to need, I have a pencil in the packet for you guys already, and it's super easy. I use the back of the pencil on the eraser side like they recommended, but if you have any other things, dowels or anything they said, I mean, you're more than welcome to use those too. So what you're going to do is take your push pin, and the cool part is there's already dots on all these different ones. So what I've been doing is basically pushing the push pin through each dot and then matching them up to the next dot. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. And then find the other dot. And then these were already pre-cut because I cut them at home yesterday, so it's a little bit easier for me. And then the last dot is going to be the center. So you're going to tag all those back to the center. Maybe if it's going to work for me. And punch it through like so. So it's going to kind of look like this. And then you get your pencil. And I kind of put it at an angle so it doesn't go through the eraser. You're just going to push your push pin, and I believe the smaller ones probably will be a little bit easier. These are the only ones I had at home. And then you have a little pinwheel, and you can hang it out outside or in your child's room if they want to. And that's just one design. And then we have this cool design that some of you guys got. Like I said, I just basically picked three that looked pretty easy and made copies of them for you guys. So this one, you're going to do the same thing. Follow the dots, fold it in the middle, follow the next dot. And this makes it a little bit easier instead of, I know there was some instructions of putting them, kind of doing the center first, which I couldn't really do it. So I thought that would be a little bit easier to do it this way. So you have all the dots covered, and then you just push it through the middle, dot, just like that. And then you get your pencil. And I mean, if you have more pencils at home, more push pins, there's some really good patterns. And this one was a little bit trickier just because it was kind of zigzag. But this one's just basically a square. And you just kind of cut the corners in to just maybe halfway or leave a little bit in the center. And you just push them together. So basically, you guys can do this at home with the kids, with anything. Put them outside since it's actually getting nice weather now. And then it also goes with the Child Abuse Prevention Month, which is kind of cool. And then, let me find my packet again. Okay. And then we have, like I told you last week, to keep your emotion wheels instructions. Here is another emotions wheel. Like you can see, there's a couple of extra ones. There's this one's got scared, happy, angry, excited, sad, and proud. So these ones you guys might have to talk to the children a little bit more about, especially like the proud and that kind of stuff. And so it's another one to kind of get to know, let the children draw whatever they want. And then we also have, since the letter is Q this week, there's some instructions for you. I've attached construction paper on the back. I just grabbed 3 random, so I don't know really mix match colors or anything. You can have your child cut pieces out, shred them, so it might be a little bit messy. And then I also gave you guys a uppercase Q, and what they're going to do is basically glue all those pieces they did onto that Q. So that's the letter recognition. Fine motor skills, again, using glue, basically their art project. We also have this month, if you guys were looking at your newsletter, we're doing fruits. Next week's book is If You Plant a Seed, so we're going to talk a lot more next week about fruits and vegetables and growing and all that kind of stuff. So to kind of get into that, there's a cut and categorize sheet. It's got animals and fruit. So the child has to figure out which one's an animal, which one's a fruit. So they're going to cut these, or you can help them since they're so small, and have them glue animals and fruits. And this can also lead into another question of other fruits, foods, vegetables, basically anything to categorize with. You can do which one's a fruit, which one's a vegetable. Sometimes that gets a little tricky with some of the fruits or the vegetables, but then you can also do like they did here with the animal. Or what's just an object, what's a toy, what's this, what's that. Shoes, which one's a boot, which one's a tennis shoe, which one's a sandal, which one's water shoes. Just to work on the categorization, not saying that everything's lumped in one group. And then we're also going to be talking about bugs. And so this week, I'm going to pop back on with another book. I believe it's called Bugs, Bugs, Bugs. So I decided to make this little counter here. So you see it says 1 through 5 on this page, and 6 through 10, which you can't really see, on this page. And I've pre-cut all the insects and bugs. So there's 10 different bugs in this thing. There's butterflies, bees, oh man, ants, I'm trying to think, beetles, I'm trying to think, there's 10. I've cut them all out. I'm trying to see what else I can see in here. Spiders, ladybugs are in here, dragonflies, I believe, are in here. And so what you're going to do is have your child pick. There's 10 of each except the ant because somehow I miscounted. So there's 8 ants, but all the other ones have 10. So basically you're going to ask them which animal they want. They can group them already. So this is kind of a little long process project. They can group them by insect or bug. They can color the bugs if they want to. And then basically you're going to go down. So they're only going to glue 1 for the 1. And then they're going to count out 2 of a different bug. So this one, each bug needs to be used basically. And that is actually it for this packet. There's a lot of more one-on-one on this packet than some of the other packets. And like I said, next week we're going to be doing a lot more planting conversations, fruits, vegetables, trying to think, um, that kind of stuff. I also wanted to see if anyone's done the water project. I got received no pictures yet, so hopefully I can get some of those in this week. And also just a reminder that the parent surveys, I need those in, and parent conferences start this week. So just message me, hey Ashley, this time works. We'll be using Zoom, unless you guys want to do FaceTime if you guys have an iPhone. Um, or I think Facebook does it too. Um, just let me know which way you guys want to do this. I have, like I said, I have Zoom. I've got Facebook. I have an iPhone, so I can do FaceTime as well. This is just trying to see where you guys are at, how you guys are feeling with everything. If you're feeling comfortable with what's going on, let's see how the kids are doing with everything, because this is a pretty rough situation to be in, especially going from school all the time and then nothing, and then just getting packets. Um, and then hopefully maybe I can see the little ones in our parent conference as well. So it's not like a strict thing. We're not going to really go over where they're at. I will print out their DRDP write-up. I personally won't do one since we weren't able to do a whole lot and I'm not seeing where they're at right now. You guys are seeing more than what I am right now. So it's basically going to be the DRDP write-up. That will be in your packets next week, and it says signature on the bottom. Don't worry about that. That's your copy. I'm just going to put spoke with parent on whatever day. Um, and also, I want to remind you guys that when you pick up the packets, I'm actually taking notes on that to see who's still participating in class and stuff. My director and the superintendent wanted to know that too, to see if this is actually working out. Don't forget, getepic.com. I have assigned 3 books for this week. There were 3 or 4 for last week. And I get to see who's doing that too, so I'll be taking notes of that as well. And there's tons and tons of different books. So if your child gets over those books or just doesn't, not seems interested, find some other books. They go by categories. They go by titles of the book if you're looking for a specific book. And all that. It's really cool. Some of them will read to your child, and then some of them you guys can read together. So it's a really, really cool website, and I really hope you guys take advantage of that. And just another reminder, don't forget school lunches. Call the elementary school by 9 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday, except on the Memorial Day weekend. That Monday they won't be serving lunch, but pickup will be at the elementary school from 11 to 12 every other day besides that day. But you need to call first so they know how many to get. Definitely take advantage of that. Make sure that they're all just trying to make sure everyone's getting taken care of with this hard time. Again, if you guys have any questions, comment, text me. The parent surveys, just send me a picture of the front and the back filled out. Trust me, there's no dinging or anything. I just have to fill out a report for the state with this. And I want to see how you guys are feeling with this whole situation. There's so much talk about what's going to happen for next year. So we're trying to get prepared just in case we have to go further into this. Hopefully not. I really hope not. Hopefully it's taken care of by the summer and we're done. I also want to do a shout out to all the birthdays in April. We did shout outs for March because they were all before we had to leave. So I just want to say happy birthday to Mr. Bodie Main, who turned 4 on the 13th this month. I also want to say happy birthday to Sophie Joe, who turns 5 today. And then I had my list out, but of course, I also want to give a shout out to Miss Michaela Kirby, who turns 5 on the 30th of this month. Happy birthday, you guys. Hopefully you guys were able to do something or are able to do something with your family. But that is it. I will post this on the YouTube channel here in a little bit, and then I will come back with the book this week. Bye.